Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we have the pleasure of talking about the brand new Tier 9 Czechoslovakian tank, aka the Skoda T50, which is a medium and actually a really good medium to play with. You're gonna find out during that video. Basically, if I had to sum it up, it's a TVP but one tier lower, which is kind of logic because this tank follows the TVP T50-51. But let's talk briefly about the characteristics and the main difference between this one and the tier 10. The main feature and the main difference is probably that this auto-loading tank only features 3 shells instead of the 4 you have on the TVP. Don't worry, it had been adapted to fit its playstyle as well because you have a slightly better reload time than the TVP when it comes to your overall reload. For the aim time, 3.3 seconds is good, the gun dispersion is good as well, or in the norm I should say. The DPM is not bad but not OP either, but honestly, knowing the fact that this tank is an auto-loader, having 2.6k DPM is still quite high for an auto-loader. So you have that for you. Magazine reload time, 16.5 seconds for a 2.5 second intra-clip reload for 3 shells, which means you burst all your shells, so a total of 930 alpha damage because your alpha damage for one shot is 310 of 5 seconds. Average penetration, same as the TVP, so good values as long as you use the right equipments. And the gun depression, which is 8 degrees, perfect to make it quite a versatile tank, especially on hilly terrains. For the rest of the tank, the mobility is great. You'll go around 60 kilometers per hour, which allows you to take advanced position at the beginning of the game, play aggressively, all those kind of things. Of course, when you try to play aggressively, you will have to count down a little bit because, of course, when you're reloading, you are extremely exposed. For the rest of the characteristics, everything is fine when it comes to the mobility, so we're not going to lose too much time and we're going to jump directly into the equipments. First thing first, I use calibrated shell to be sure not to bounce any shells, as it's really frustrating when you have an auto-loader to sneak only 1 or 2 shots instead of the 3 total auto-loading clip you have. After, I go for the enhanced gun lane drive. Sorry, I had something in my mouth. Enhanced gun lane drive and vertical stabilizer to reduce as much as possible my aim time. It's really important to do that, guys, simply because when you do this, you allow yourself not to miss any single one of your shells. Oh, I'm really struggling with this one. It allows you not to miss, let's say it like that, it's simpler. Defense system, because I'm not gonna ram anybody. Improved assembly, because I don't have armor, I'm gonna show you that after. Toolbox, because an enhanced track is useless. Improved optics, because I'm a medium, I'm gonna spot, I don't need a camo. Engine accelerator to increase my already great mobility. And finally, consumable delivery system, because as you're running an auto-loader tank, you don't have use for adrenaline, and therefore you wanna use your consumable more often. As I told you concerning the armor profile, you are really not armored because just look at that. Look at that. You have the values on top of my screen. I'm sorry, I did not use Armor Inspector because it didn't have been uploaded yet, all the tanks, only the TVP, so we gotta do with this. First thing first, 90 millimeters of armor here. At the top, 160, so basically everybody will penetrate you. And be careful about HE shells because same problem as the one we had on the TVP. On the sides, it's quite easy to get penetrated, but it seems like this tank has spaced armor, which is kind of weird because I never expected one tank like that to get protections all over the place when it comes to HE, but it might be a good idea to show your side, I guess, when there are... No, don't do that. Stay straight in front of your opponents. That's the best advice I can give you, because if you don't, you are going to get completely crushed. Now, the only thing that bounces on the tank is, of course, the gun mantlet, because as you can see, it can climb up to more than 350 millimeters of row penetration, row armor, I should say. And finally, the turret, which is literally made of paper. So with this tank, try to avoid getting shot. Concerning the playstyle, guys, I'm not gonna go for a live battle because I managed to get 2 perfect games that shows really well how to play that tank. So I'm just gonna talk over the replay and show you what I did. Basically, you have an auto-loader, 16.5 seconds of whole reload plus 5 seconds to burst all your shells for a total of nearly 22 seconds. When you are reloading for 22 seconds, you are extremely exposed. So when you're playing with this tank, you don't want to play aggressively. You don't want to play somewhere where you're gonna be alone while reloading. Always stick to the rest of your team. That's called playing in support. As you can see at the beginning of the game, I still used my mobility to be able general to catch up with the mediums trying to cross on the other side of the map. That's what you want to do when you have a fast medium on that map, which is called Port Bay, by the way, for once that I know the map's name. But basically, when you're playing with this tank, it's like kind of a hit and run. You wait for your opponents to actually shoot at someone else than you. You go out of your position, and thanks to your great intra-clip reload, you are bursting all your shells. That's what we did here, and luckily for us, we managed to pull out 1.8k damage in the first minute of the game, with a tank that doesn't necessarily have the best DPM ever. Now we gotta go away, and as you can see, real quick, just want to show you that. Where did I bounce? Straight to the gun mantlet, the only way for you to bounce anything. Now, how are we gonna play it? We are gonna wait here, we're gonna wait for the RHM to try something, and we kill them off with an HE. HEs are extremely powerful on this tank and in the Czechoslovakian line in general, because it climbs up your average damage if you shoot 3 HE shells in a row to 1.2k, which is insane for only 3 shots. So as you can see, we burst all our shells on the I6 because he was watching at someone else, and that's exactly what we do. We are waiting for our opponents to shoot at our allies, and we stay with the main forces that our allies represent. Doing that, we don't take any damage, and we are safe from our enemies. There we go, we managed to pull off 3.8k damage already. There is still the PTA, but I'm reloading, but I don't care, we already won. I'm just gonna wait for my clip to reload to be able to burst my shells and hopefully get the last kill. So there we go, 5 seconds. So we shoot the first one, 2.5 seconds after we shoot the second one, killing the PTA, securing 2 kills and more than 4k damage. That's pretty much the first game and how you want to play it when you're top tier like that. You stick with the main forces, mainly the heavies, I should say, because the heavies are here to take shots and bounce them, and you will be able to get those kind of juicy games. Let's go for the second game. Concerning the second game, guys, as you can see, we are not top tier. When you're not top tier, you gotta play it even more carefully because you are gonna be punished for every single mistakes you make. I want to remind you that this tank doesn't have any armor, so if someone shoots at you, the probability for you to get penetrated and therefore rage a lot is around 95%. Based on my own math, because big brain, as you all know. Anyway, what are we gonna do here? Here we play a little bit more carefully. We are not rushing through like we did with the first game where we were top tier. No, here we try to wait a little bit to see what they're doing. And as you can see by the map right now, taking a look, wait, like this because it's reversed for me. Taking a look at the map, as you can see, there is the STI in the other side of the map. So I was expecting the whole enemy team to go there because we did not spot anything crossing. And it seems like there is also the Yak Tiger that is completely alone. So we're gonna try something. And I realized that they were just all slow. So there we go, we burst all our shells. We tried to sneak a shot on the 268. And why did I rush through instead of going back to my team? Because if you take a look at the map one more time, all my team is with me. So if I hide myself and just spot for the rest of my team, I shouldn't struggle too much because the enemies will not be able to push me. And you're gonna see how effective that tactic is gonna be. We managed, thanks to our great mobility, to avoid getting shot by the 268, and now it's only a matter of time because all we gotta do is wait for our enemies to shoot at our allies, and when they are done, I go out of the corner, poke my 3 shots, and come back to a safe position while reloading. There we go for the standard B. As you can see, I'm going for some HE shells. Here I couldn't because, of course, there was modules. But look at this. We managed to pull out 1k damage, nearly 1.1k damage on that standard B, thanks to our great HE. And that's one of the best advice I can give you with this tank when you have the possibility to use HE. Of course, if you can penetrate, don't use HE if you can penetrate. Don't tell me you use HE when you can penetrate, guys, please. And as you can see, it's really simple. We go out of the corner, we poke around, we try to sneak shots, of course, and obviously focusing on low lives to be able to kill them as fast as possible, because even if you do less damage, it's already a gun down for the rest of your team, which makes you climb to the victory. So there we go. We are gonna reload once again. Nobody cares about us, which is the perfect matchmaking for us. It's the perfect situation. If nobody cares about me, I'm just driving around, snapshotting and bursting all my shells and using my tank to its maximum abilities. That's what we did. We are gonna wait for the whole reload one more time. The I7 is not watching me, the 100 either. So we push in. We push in. We secure the kill on the I7. Here I had a little bit of a bug bug simply because the servers are overcrowded right now, and Wargaming is of course struggling to put them in place. And we managed to get our 5 kills and 3.7k damage. Now we are rushing for the T92E1 in the hope to get the pool medal. Are we gonna get it or not? We're gonna see. And I just realized I just left my mouse in the middle of the replay. I'm really sorry. I hope it's not gonna be too much of a problem for you. We did not manage to get the kill, but hey, 5 kills, 3.7k damage, and obviously an ace tanker, because we managed to spot a little bit for our team. And even if that's not the best game and that was easy to ace because the tank just got released, that's pretty much how you want to play it. When you're top tier, play aggressively while staying with the rest of your team. When you're bottom tier, play in support and don't try to rush through too hard. Hope this review helped you a little bit knowing how to play that tank. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share, and I'm gonna see you soon for a new video. Au revoir.